He's a guy that Philip II sent here to get a colony going, and there were other attempts before him, but he did the job. The king had a lot of faith in him, Philip II, and he did a good job. I mean, obviously, here we are in St. Augustine. He did such a good job. The king said, "You know what? I need you to come back to Spain because I've got another job for you." Reluctantly went. He didn't really want to go, but he did. So he gets on a ship to go back to Spain, but dies of typhoid fever before he gets there. His dying request, bury me in my home church in my hometown. Now, this is Pedro Menéndez de Avilés. He's from Avilés, Spain, which is way up on the top, way up on the Bay of Biscay. You can't go any further north than be in Spain, in the province of Asturias. Now, Asturias was a province that was never conquered by the Moors. They're pretty proud of that, as they should be. They're proud of this guy, their most famous citizen. So we're going to take care of him. We're going to build him the best mausoleum in Spain. And they did. They built him a beautiful mausoleum. And they put him in this casket. This casket. Historically significant? Yeah. Pretty
End of 16th century.
So they put him in this casket, and they put this casket in the mausoleum. Now your question is, okay, how do you get a hold of the casket? Well, about 100 years ago, the mausoleum is falling apart. It's crumbling. We're gonna take care of it. We're gonna rebuild the mausoleum, and they did. But this casket was in pieces. It was in very bad shape. So the decision was made to reinter him into a new casket. So they took his remains and put him in a new casket, and put that casket into the mausoleum. So his remains are not here. They're still in northern Spain.
But casket is here.
What's that?
Casket
Well, what happened was, I guess the city of Avilés didn't know what to do with the caskets. They said, let's give it to St. Augustine, Florida, because he started the city. So they gave it to the city, and apparently the city didn't know what to do with it because it sat around for a while. And then the city said, you know what, let's give it to the church. They give it to the diocese of St. Augustine, and they did. And the diocese found people that put it back together again, other artisans that redid the paintwork, and here it is. Now, I know that's classical Spanish, which probably you could read, but most people get caught up in the skull and the crossbones. Like, was he a pirate?
Yeah.
Of course not. Anybody know what that symbol means? It goes to the beginning of the church. It means death and resurrection. Death, not just death, but death and resurrection. So this was at the skull and the crossbones were at the foot of the cross. The bones of Adam and the skull of Christ. The Old and New Testaments coming together. So this symbol for the beginning of the church, people saw it, death and resurrection. When this casket was made in the 1570s, people knew what it meant, death and resurrection. The pirates, of course, steal the symbol. Now it's got a totally different meaning. Is it used in the church today? Not really. Not really. But if you go to old churches in Europe, you'll see it. You'll see it, real old churches in Europe. So, the casket of the guy, the man himself. Have you been out to the Sacred Acre? Have you been out there?
Mm-hmm.
Good. You got to go out there. I mean,
Oh, you mean in a church?
what's that?
In church?
You went-
Close to the